Alright, next up we have Jeskai Amulet. So for those of you who have been around, I need to go to Stream Tracker and update that. Jeff Hoagland's stream, he has been playing a Esper Amulet deck. I love the deck. The problem with it is your green-black matchup is just atrocious because they have plenty of ways of disrupting your Amulet. So being able to have a plan that allows you to go around that with just like being able to eventually explosion them out of the game seems fine. Clarion also helps in that matchup as a way to like sweep up the little dudes earlier, because there's been multiple times playing the deck where like you don't find a second white source for Settle on 4, and as a result you die. Or you don't find your second white source for Clarion for Cleansing Nova and you die. So like yes, this is 2 colored mana, but like we also have 16 red sources for Clarion. So like this red splash is pretty free. It also allows us to transition to actual Jeskai control. So typical Jeskai control has this threat package of 3 to Fury, 2 Niv, and then 4 Clarion, a few negates, like, and settles as well as like additional sweepers. And then like Azor's Gateway is another card that's been picking that has seen play. Azor's Gateway or Treasure Map is usually that slot. They're usually on 4, but because of sideboard slots, I wanted to be able to board in an additional land anytime we switch to the traditional Jeskai build, because I want to be able to cast my stuff on curve. And when we're bringing in the Jeskai control deck, we're citing out like our amulets and like our anticipates and our radical ideas, and shifting into a more traditional control deck and not just this cantrip filled deck. So being able to have an additional land in our deck is going to let us cast our spells on curve. So the Jeskai control build is specifically for green black, because that matchup for Jeskai I believe is good. I believe Jeskai has a good green black matchup. So like if we can steal a game 1 off of them with our Primal Amulet Nexus into Explosion Plan, then transitioning into a true Jeskai control deck and boarding out the amulets when they're expecting them and boarding out their removal spells allows for Teferi and Niv Mizzet to take over a game. This is something I was working on today while I was at work. I'm really, really excited to see how well this works, because I think this could be just actually insane. I know there's a couple different people I text. I'm just like, hey, I need you to look at this with me and see if like your thought process is the same on mine on all this. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry for your ears. Opponent is 2-2. This hand is really close. Obviously, we need another land for Amulet. We do have Steam Vents, which lets us have an untapped land, so we can go opt into Radical Idea. We're missing a second white source for Settle, which we have 4 Sacred Foundry, 4 Clifftop Retreat, 4 Glacial Fortress, and a Plains. Just because we don't currently have access to... Hey, look at that. Right on time. I would love to pay 2 life. So this looks like the Boros control deck. Like the Sam Black deck from one of the GPs earlier in the season. So I'm actually not going to cast anything this turn because I want to be able to... So we're going to go Amulet this turn. Next turn we're going to go Clarion. Clarion will sweep these up. We can go Clarion into Revitalize Radical Idea. And then like we need one spell to flip the Amulet. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. It's a lot of damage. So I'm actually going to play the white source here and pass because that leaves up Settle if they have another Heroic Reinforcements. Actually, Reinforcements isn't lethal, so there's no need to settle this turn if they have it. Oh, opponent, it's adorable that you think I can't flip this. I'm going to take this... I'm going to take the Discovery here. I would love to flip this. So at this point, we're just going to dig for Nexus. I already have Settle, so there's no need to pick up another sweeper here. And then I'm gonna pass here. We're gonna Ritual to gain 8, draw 2 cards, and then probably Anticipate. Like we're just literally digging for Nexus at this point. Cool. So opponent doesn't really know what's going on. I think I'm just gonna hit submit here. There might be reason to bring in like Settle and Clarion. Like they saw Clarion from this, and they could have. I think it's actually correct to bring in Negate here. Like a couple negates over like an Anticipate and a Ritual. Just like very, very minimalist sideboarding with this deck, so yeah, this hand's really good. This Discovery is going to be looking for lands and cantrips. Second negate isn't particularly what I was looking for there. Vanguard is really annoying. It means we only have Settle as an out to it. I think I want the land. I don't think I have time for the Ritual right now. We'll take our 3. And then this turn we're going to go Sulfur Falls, leave up Op plus Negate if they have reinforcements. I would love a radical idea. So I'm not playing out the Amulet here because I want to be able to leave up Negate for it as well. I want to leave up Amulet plus Negate next turn. Unfortunately, I think this reinforcements has to resolve. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can go to 1. Yeah, I'll go to 1. 1 is not 0. So we would have drawn Sulfur Falls Return, Radical Idea into Anticipate, and then we could have flipped Amulet. Unfortunately, that doesn't let us... I think I just want a couple more outs for Adanto. Sounds really good. We need to draw some white sources, but we have this Radical Idea to help us out. So I'm actually going to anticipate this turn because I'm digging for specifically white sources. I will take a Glacial Fortress. Alright, so we have double white. So I'm actually going to Radical Idea this turn because I want to be able to leave up Settle for when they actually present, like, go for lethal. And Revitalize helps, like, bluff Settle. Like, helps us be able to bluff it. That's really annoying. Post-combat Legion War Boss. I don't think I'm in the market for Nexus yet. But we already bottomed one Nexus. So then we would have 2 Nexus in the bottom 4 cards of our library. So I think I actually had to take this here. Even though I don't really want to. That's a fantastic draw. So yeah, if they had played the Legion War Boss pre-combat, they could have actually flipped their Legion's Landing. Is this reinforcements? Yeah, it is. And now they flip their Legion's Landing. So unfortunately, I can't play Amulet because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have a second reinforcements that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm dead to that, but... Like, I need to get one of these going. And like, if they want to take a turn off to Conclave Tribunal this, that's fine. So this means we're dead. Right? This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I made the mistake of not leaving up settle that one turn. Oh well. So if we had left up settle, they settle, like, they go dig for 5 lands. We also could have settled instead of playing Clarion that one turn. Like, they would have then dug for 5 lands. But we would have been way higher. Like, then the second reinforcements doesn't really do anything. Sand's fine. Sand's really good. We need a second white sorcerer to settle, but yeah, this hand's really good. Watery Grave. So if they have Thought Erasure, I'm actually going to expansion it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll take our 2. Campaign comes down. We're going to discard probably this settle. I don't think this settle is going to be very good against them. They could have, like, Night Veil Spectre. So maybe it's actually better to bend the Radical idea. And then we are still going to be mana efficient by casting this. So I took them in that order so I could still leave up expansion if they have something. Is this Night Veil Predator? Yeah, it is. That's fine. I have 2 Settle the Wreckages for you, buddy. Or a Deafening Clarion. Karn, Scion of Urza. You can have basic island. Amulet. That's not an amulet. So we can currently explosion for 3 next turn. Which leaves only 1 explosion in our deck to combo off with. Sure, you can have an Atrata. That's not going to be very good against my opponent. Sure. Assuming that's staying right there on top. Yep. I'm going to discard the Sacred Foundry because it doesn't do us any good at this point. If they attack, I'm going to settle. Actually, I'm going to take this hit. Like, I have no reason not to. Like, my life is a resource. I might as well use it. Like, this attack isn't for lethal. I might as well just take it. And, like, if I draw Clarion here, it's a 3-for-1, so... One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Yep, I'm at 10. This is going to put me up to 14. You can have a Walk the Plank. Resolves. So I think I'm going to Explosion for 4 here at Instep. They're going to pick up their 2 campaigns. So I think I'm going to do this in response. Target you, target me. Red, red. Blue, blue. Amulet. Cool. Man, this settle's gonna be real good. I don't think I'm in the market for second amulet yet. I would love an opt, though. So I'm going to flip amulet here. Well, not quite. Sure, I'm going to discard this radical idea. Three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. So this is exactly lethal. No, I actually messed up because I can't cast this opt this turn. And I can't cast this ritual either. I think I'm going to leave ritual to be able to copy with Wellspring, though. Sure. I don't know why you would do that over campaign, but okay. And then basically whatever I draw here is going to get discarded to radical ideas so I can flip my amulet. Alright, I lied. I'm gonna discard this opt. I would love to flip this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is an explosion for 12. Which unfortunately is not quite lethal yet. So every land I draw actually doubles the amount of damage I can deal off of this. Because at this point I'm just going to double it. Or another amulet lets me kill them. Are we picking up the Watery Grave? Or are we picking up another Karn? I'm gonna respond opponent. I'm gonna discard that one. I'm gonna respond opponent. I will take an anticipate. Nexus of Fate. I'll take a Revitalize, I guess. Alright. Upkeep stop. I'm going to discard this Anticipate here. Sure. Sure. Trigger. So I actually want to Discovery first. Graveyard. Graveyard. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not done having fun yet. I would love to transform this. Can I deck them yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 18, 27. Yeah, we'll let them draw their deck too. Trigger. Target you, target you. Target you, target you. Opponent, I guess, doesn't want to draw any more cards. I don't know why. I don't understand. I let my opponent draw 27 cards. I want these 2 negates. Do I want Gateway? I'm gonna hit submit. I'm gonna hit submit. I know that was really, really complicated sideboarding. I'm going to keep this hand. My body is ready to be duressed. That was a wonderful draw, as it now lets us cast Opt on turn 1. I don't think I'm in for Settle here. Amulet's a really good draw. That seems like a good draw here. Oh, this is when it attacks. I'm like, what did they do with their Surveil? They haven't done anything yet. So I'm actually going to hold this ritual because I want to be able to... So they're missing their land drops. That's awesome. No negate. Woo, Billy, oh boy. So I'm actually going to jam Amulet next turn, and then... Disinformation campaign? Oh, yeah. That's fine. Go. Thank you for not attacking, opponent. I appreciate you in my life. I'm gonna gain 4, draw a card. Is that fine? Ooh. Ooh. I think I want to go... I want to flip. I think I just want to flip here. And, like, try to find a payoff after I flipped. Graveyard. I'll take an Anticipate. These are going to flip, and then I can cast triple Anticipate on my opponent's turn. I got nothing, opponent. Go ahead. Resolves. Trigger. Ow, that hurt. Wow. I guess we're going to do this. We might as well guess the one with upside. I would like a deafening clarion, please. Alright. Go ahead, opponent. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards next turn. Hope you're ready. So the world will know. So we can definitely flip Amulet. As of now, that's not really doing anything for us. Well, oh hey, I found a Clarion. Cool. Oh, dang it. Dang it. I forgot I don't have Amulet anymore. There we go. Let's try that. Discard the Sacred Foundry. Good Lord. Two mana, draw 3. Yo, dog, I heard you like lands. So I got you some lands so you can cast your lands with your lands. Well, I'm sitting here spinning my tires. I guess we can discard that one. And that one. So, we're dead if they have our second explosion? Sure. Resolves. I'm going to cast my playset of Nexus. Cast my playsets of Nexus of Fate. Good, good. That's where they've had enough. I really want to know what they took. They did not take our last explosion. Okay. I was going to say, they don't know we're only on 2, but... Hand seems okay. Not great, but okay. We have Opt and Revitalize to try to find us into another land. So I think I'm going to lead on Radical Idea because in the event I get to keep this Revitalize... Oh, I lied. I just want a lot of life. Hold that thought, check. Oh, work. Work, work, work. So I know we're not being mana efficient this turn, but I want to be able to leave this ritual for hopefully when we flip the amulet. And if they have like main board Crater Maker, we're gonna cry. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Woot woot. Really not looking for a Nexus yet. Two, three, four, five, six. So we can actually... We can flip and have Nexus next turn. Four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. They have a spell that'd be 11. Burn spell goes 13, 14. is this? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 4. So I'm going to go to 1 when all this is done. Down to 12. Yeah, I'm going to go to 1. So if they have land, shock as their last 2 cards, I'm dead? Oh, I guess that also works. Alright. So we're going to go off next turn. We're going to double Nexus 2 turns in a row. Have 3 turns in the bank. Good Lord. I think I just want to go up like a non-zero amount of sweepers. I think I might be getting sick. That or my allergies are just really, really bad today, and I don't know why. You know, I'm in the market for a settle. Looking for a land. Thank you. Clarion? It's not a deafening Clarion at all. That's a Clarion. Now I get to save myself 2 life later. Alright, looking for an amulet at this point. Okay. Okay. So I'm actually going to revitalize instead, because again I want to be able to copy the ritual with Amulet if and when I find it. So this is probably going to be an explosion for 3 turn. It's going. I think we're currently 1-1, and we're down a game against Mono Red. We would have won against Mono Red if they didn't have triple bolt. Cast my Sphinx's Rev. Oh, good lord, go away. Casting this now because if I find an amulet, I can still cast it. I'm not gonna ditch a ritual though. All right. We're gonna cast Nexus for a while. We have one more turn here. Amulet. All right, I feel in a decent position now. So in a turn, I'm going to Radical Idea pitch this Clarion, I think. So we already have one explosion in the yard, so we can't cast this other one unless it's for lethal. I mean, that'll work. I'm gonna do my thing, hopefully. I'm gonna do my thing. I would love to transform this. Opponents! Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were dead on our next turn. So we would have had Explosion for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Dang it, that's not lethal. It's not lethal in both ways. We can't deck our opponent and fireball them. I'm so sad. So instead we would have copied Nexus 4 times. Next turn, cast Nexus 4 times. Copy this. Draw 4 cards. I don't know why our opponent wouldn't let us have fun. We let them have fun. Why wouldn't they let us have fun? This hand is very medium. This hand is much better. Fistful of Kittens, I feel like you're judging me for wanting to kill my opponent 2 different ways at once. And I don't appreciate judgment. Totes am. I mean, I understand why you're judging me, but I don't appreciate it. I just wanted to have fun. My opponent wouldn't let me. Going to cast this Radical Idea. Maybe the Settles are a little ambitious in this matchup, just because I don't want to ramp them into Banefire. I'm sorry for your ears in advance. Not a pretty bird. That's not a land. That's not the land I asked for Christmas. That's a land. That's the land I asked for Christmas. I'm going to take 4. Because I'm going to settle this, and I feel like they're not going to have anything after that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 2. Like, if they don't want to attack with this Phoenix, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll go to 7. Have this be a lethal attack. Ask you to pick them up. So I'm doing this turn, so then next turn they'll attack with the Phoenix. Because, like, what's the odds of me having second Settle in the top 15 cards of my library? Go. got him. I'm always under the idea that your opponent always has the card he needs. That's a way to live. I don't know if it's accurate, but that's a way to live. Why wouldn't he? Just, yep. Why wouldn't he have the second settle? Nope, you can draw. I mean, I've seen 4 sweepers in the top 20 cards of my library. Is your last card shot? Because I'll be very sad. Alright, second Primal Amulet doesn't do it for me. Oh, alright. I feel like we shouldn't have lost that matchup, but we kind of stumbled game 3 and we stumbled on lands, and as a result we died. No need to be upset about it. So, it'll be all is good. I don't know, Carl. What time are you thinking? Because I am all for whenever. I think I'm going to try to stream a little bit tomorrow. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So the new arena draft format. My buddy Brandon sent this in. He says he was on the play twice and he won on turn 1 twice. Because I guess the current format is you have Omniscience into play, so like you just play 40 spells. So you go turn 1 Gutter Snipe and then draw your entire deck and kill them. Like, that's adorable. I can get used to that. Well, Carl, if and when you figure it out, let me know. I can shoot you a text whenever I get up, and we can go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this. This hand is better. So I think this deck is missing. Is really missing Search for Azcanta. That's a card I ended up cutting. And I really... There's been a couple different times where I'm just like, man, I wish I had like search here so I could like start digging for the card I need. Doesn't feel really bad when this is an aggro deck we're playing against. Fuck. So I'm going to hold this Revitalize until we get Amulet into play. So if both of these find a 1-drop spell, we can flip Amulet on 5. And then if we draw a land, we can Nexus on 6. Go ahead, opponent. Tap out. Good, good. Okay. So if we draw a land and a 1-mana spell, we can flip Nexus. I mean, we can flip Amulet. Well, we did draw a land and an Amulet, but unfortunately it was a non-blue source that we drew. And the way I tapped our lands made it where we couldn't. So if I start with Radical Idea... Yeah, I think I'm going to start with Radical Idea because then I can copy Discovery. Bin all those. Bin those. Alright, we never saw a sweeper and we died. Hooray! I like my sweepers. This might actually just be a Jeskai matchup. I don't think so. I think this is a sweepers matchup. I think I just want to overload on sweepers to, like... obviously, they're going to have counter spells and everything for them, so if we can find a way to get in... Thank you. I know it's not ideal to listen to me just sit here and sneeze all night, but I think after this league I'm gonna call it a night. Just try to get rid of all this before. I would love to play first. Sounds really good. Need to draw a... well, we'll need like a red source at some point, but... oh, I'm sure, man, and I am very sorry in advance. Can you hear every sniffle and everything? Because if so, I am very, very sorry. Hey, look at that, a red land. Trickster. Yep. My phone's gonna die, and that makes me sad. Come on, opponent. Come on. Do they have like second Trickster here? I feel a second Trickster in my future. No? Okay. What is in their hand? Just mono counter spells? We've also drawn 0 spells this game. Nice 2-3. So unfortunately, Settle makes their Tempest gen really good. Like their future Tempest gens. This is literally a merfolk drowning a dude. What is this art? It's like, haha, gotcha. I have never actually looked at this art. This is super messed up. Nope. So now I have double Settle mana? Yes, tap out. Yes. I'm assuming there's a counterspell in my future. I loved my 4 for 1 I had. It really, really makes me curious what's in their hand, though. Yeah, nice 7-4. Opponent, you're going to pick that Tempest Gin up. I'm telling you that now. Pick them up. Sure. Well, we haven't found an amulet in the top 30-ish cards. That thing hits like a truck. Oh, good lord. Keep going. So this gives me double Clarion plus Settle Manage. And like if they have a counterspell here, I can expansion my Clarion. Do you have a Spell Pierce as well? So I'll pay for the Spell Pierce. Resolves. No! 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 I could have played that differently. Instead of going for the expansion, I could have just gone for... Instead of going for the expansion, I could have just gone for settle. And then, like, I'm looking down a 1-1. And, like... well, I guess a 2-2. And I have an explosion. So if I had let the counterspell resolve, I could have settled them. I don't think they would have played Storm Tamer first main. Like if they had, we were dead. And I guess if my only out there is exactly settled, there's no reason not to play the Storm Tamer out main. So maybe they drew it off of Curious Obsession. So I guess like that's my one out is like they drew it off of Obsession. All right, chat. So as you all know, I appreciate a good Mario level. This is a new level called Shellscape. Oh my lord, this is insane. This is beautiful. This is so hot. I love everything I'm watching here.
Oh my god.
19 hours on one level. Kaizo blocks are always funny and original. Oh my lord, that was fantastic.
I almost had a heart attack.
Oh my lord, that was awesome. That is amazing. That's so Grand Pooh Bear is probably the most popular Super Mario Maker streamer. He's very well known in the Super Mario community as well, because he does a lot of Kaizo hacks. And like he's a very, very good streamer. He's easily one of my favorites. And he is the third person to clear that level. 19 hours and 5 minutes. It's a long time for one level. I think this hand is fine. Like we're on the draw, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks at a land. All right, I'm pulling out the hypergeometric calculator. Population size is 60, 24. Looking at 5, and we need 1. No, population size is 53. We have 22. We have a 70%. We have a 94% chance of finding at least one land. I'm keeping this. We have a 94% chance of finding a land. At least one land. And obviously, and that's by turn 3. No, so actually it's greater than that because I'm doing it on a 97% chance of finding a land. Opponent is really, really deciding on their 7. All right, let's go read this Reddit post that Ryan posted. Titans control their own destiny for playoffs, but do not control their own destiny for seeding. To make it to the playoffs, they had to beat the Colts. To win the division, they had to beat the Colts, and the Texans had to lose to the Jaguars. Get the number 2 seed in a week 1 bye. They had to beat the Colts. The Texans had to lose. The Ravens had to lose to the Browns. And the Patriots had to lose to the Jets. Wow. I like it. I love the fact that they have a chance to be the 2nd seed overall. That's the part that really, really amazes me still. And dude, the way the Patriots have been playing has not been impressive either. Like they ended up losing today, didn't they? Or did they end up winning? More importantly, the Cowboys won. Demir Guildgate is a good sign for us. Ding! Never did have it. Been to Discovery. I'm gonna take the ritual. Actually, I'm gonna graveyard both of these. Finally had a decent game, you say? Oops. I shouldn't have played this land yet, because if I draw a shock of this, I don't want a shock, so... And actually, I'm not going to be able to... I need to draw a blue source, and I can flip my amulet on 5. Well, that's not a blue source. Or if I draw a sabotage, yeah, that's fine. Submerged Boneyard. That tells me that they're a budget deck. Because, like, why else would you need Submerged Boneyard, Guild Gates, and Water Graves, and Drowned Catacombs. Thank you, chat. To be fair, those are really cheap online. So, I'm playing around a counterspell here by playing out the Radical idea. I mean, it might also just be something that they already had. So what I'm doing is I'm digging for Nexus, so I can cast Nexus on their end step, and then untap and play Amulet. Well, they do have Watergrave. Is this a Nexus of their own? Nezahal. Okay. You can draw. Is this one also good, opponent? I think I want to fight over this. I think I want to fight over this amulet. Okay. Cast my fog. So I have 3 radical ideas in the yard. Fungal infection. Okay. I'm going to tell you now, opponent, those are not very good in this matchup. Is this Nexus? Immortal Sun. That's also fine. Digging for a settle. Just gonna politely ask them to pick their saplings up. Resolves. Yeah, second negate. Alright, you wanted it more than I did, opponent. 3 mainboard negates, you say. So this is actually a matchup I want to keep the amulets in. But I want to bring in like all my threats as well. I would gladly take an anticipate. Niv's gonna give it to him. Niv is gonna give it to him. Niv is gonna be like is it Exhibit? Is that who sings it? Is that who X refers to as Exhibit in that song? He's gonna give it to him. Oh. DMX, thank you. Man, I should know that. I'm disappointed I didn't know that. I wonder if Banefire is better than Expansion in our deck. Like, it's also an uncounterable spell, like Chromium is in the Esper version. Explosion is our win condition. Yeah, Explosion is our only win condition. So, like, Expansion is the options half. But is it better than Explosion? Like, Explosion can also just be like a 7 mana draw 3, deal 3. Which, like, when you say it like that, sounds really bad, but, like, it's come up tonight where we've done that. What did we scry to the top? And anticipate. Yeah, which was like the big difference is Banefire is uncounterable. I'm going to try to run away with this game, opponent. Oh, little bit of this, little bit of that. Yeah, like Banefire being uncounterable in this matchup seems really, really good. Demir, how are we tonight? I'm going to take this Niv Miss It. Go. Opponent, don't have a red source and a shatter over there, because I would be sad. So I think next turn I'm going to aggressively dig for a land. I mean, yes and no. Like, they haven't really Like, I mean, they went tap land on 1, tap land on 2, spell into tap land. So, like, yes and no. I'm sure if those were Watery Graves, they would have gone, like, tap land on 1, Watery Grave into Discover. And, like, that third turn, they could have had Counterspell up, but... Blink. Well, I luckily drew a land. So I'm going to shock this in and say go. And if they don't do anything, I can activate Gateway. If they do something, I have a negate for it. So we have triple blue. We need to draw a blue or a red source, and we can play Niv. Is this Sabotage? That's fine. That is 100% fine. It's a cool place, and it says it gets colder. Alright, opponent, you have to have thought erasure exactly this turn. Yeah, I don't agree with burning the Sabotage there. Sure. Please don't keep Eldest Reborn in your deck. Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? I guess. Oh. And because I played the Gateway there before, I couldn't play Teferi. Like, if I hadn't played Gateway, I could have played Teferi and tucked the Eldest Reborn. Please don't have Counterspell. I will concede to a Counterspell. Sure, man. All right, not a very good showing for Amulet tonight. That being said, we lost to Mono Blue, which I think is very winnable. We lost to Mono Red, which I also feel is very winnable. And I don't think we should have lost that matchup, but opponent had triple mainboard negate game 1, and then had the actual... Like, why would you keep in Eldest Reborn against us? Like it, you saw 0 hits for it game 1. It is what it is. I disagree with it. That doesn't mean it's wrong, I guess, but whatever. Not a very good showing for Amulet tonight.